Hey, what's good, barbecue family? It's your boy Joe Meal here, back with Killer Miller Q, and today we taking a $13 rack of pork from Costco, searing it over some screaming hot coals from harder charcoal over on my Weber Kettle grill, and we making some beautiful smoked two-born chops. Check it out. And cut the music. This video begins right here with this beautiful rack of pork that we got from Costco. It's been a minute now. It was back around the Easter time. They'll usually have these, and literally this whole thing was only about 14 bucks. But basically you got your bone-in pork chop. Sometimes this is where you might see where they make that crown of pork. They might use this. But today what I'm going to be doing this time is we're going to be chopping this up and making a nice two-bone chop. So I'm going to get this out the package. We'll probably get rid of a little bit of this fat here on the outside. And other than that, we'll leave it alone before we go ahead and break it apart. There it is out the package. I'm gonna get a little shadow on the back of this thing for you, but you can see we got quite a bit of fat. Now once I'm cutting these into two bone chops, it really wouldn't be that much, but still, you only got so much area you're getting rub on. Being that it'll be broken down into two bones, it'll be almost like a party rib. We will get seasoning all the way around, but good rule of habit is I'm gonna take off this fat just so I can get more contact with the skin. Try not to gouge too much in your meat. We're just gonna bring this down to a more smooth layer. And I've shown this before. I've already taken off one layer, nice and thin. First, you gotta have your good nice knife. This is a nice boning knife that I got from the Bearded Butchers. Wasn't too expensive, but very effective. The best thing to do, and I'm on over with the left hand, so this won't be my exact method, but I initially try to find the fat area, like right here, a seam of fat that I want, and I push directly under and right through on the other side, making sure that when I come up, I'm barely up under this fat. From there, I can then turn my knife around, back my way out, and then I'll get me a lifted edge, just like you see right here. And this is one that I had already started. And then from here, what I'll do is lift this edge, keeping it nice and close, and I'm just gonna shimmy a nice another little layer off until I get off a few more of these seams of fat, and then you'll see how it looks in the end. And this is a cleanup job, real quick, fast. Truthfully, that was quite a bit that came off of there. A lot of silver skin in here. I always try not to chase too deep in this groove because it almost is where it almost separates. This is your pork loin here, and then obviously you got your ribs up there. So I don't want to go too hard and then make that a whole separation, especially since this is going to be getting broken to two bone chops. But at least you get the initial pieces out of there. I just felt a piece of bone. That's why you always kind of rub along if you ever watch videos and you see people kind of doing this after they trim. Usually that's how you find those shiners, any type of bones or anything sharp or pieces of meat that you don't like. Obviously you can see a little silver skin there. I'm not worried about it. Like I said, we're about to cut this into two bones. So that's going to get destroyed in the heat. But you can kind of see what came up off of there. It's actually quite a bit of fat. I've gotten a lot better over the years of not taking off too much edible stuff. So you see this is nothing but fat. But this is quite a bit of stuff that's going to stop your seasoning from contacting your meat. And it's also going to be a bunch of stuff that would normally pour into the bottom of your grill that you are expected to clean. Instead, I'm going to get rid of this right now. We're going to clean up a lot better, and it's going to make us a nice, cleaner, prettier product. So I'm going to toss that out the way so I can get my whole cutting board back. And we're going to quickly start chopping these babies up, 2 bones each. And what I'm going to do is when I cut, I'll stand them up and go straight down, and I'll try to just go right down the middle Actually, no, I think I'll leave it flat. I'm gonna grab my brisket knife so that way I got a nice long knife, and I'll lay them flat, and that way I get a nice straight cut. All right, here we go. 2 bone chops, all broke down. And truthfully, once I got going, I kind of remember, just like ribs, the easiest way, turn them babies on their back so you can actually see where all the joints line up, help you try to get some cleaner cuts overall. We're going to be moving right along now that I got these all broken out. Some nice thick boys, as you can see. Going to one of my absolute favorite rubs. Once I went into it, this is the Kansas City favorite, the Meat Mitch rub here. I had the womp sauce also that went with it. We've used this on ribs before and it came out great. We're going to see how it does on these 2 bones. So I'm not going to worry too much about 2 minutes right now. I'll hit it with a little bit of avocado oil on all sides, and let's get some rub on. All right, 2 bone chops. Got some of that Meat Mitch all the way around, patted on. A little bit of avocado spray on there, a little avocado oil. I'm going to let these hang out back in the fridge for about another half hour. We'll get our fire up to temp. We're using harder charcoal to get some good flavor in there. I'm setting these babies off indirect. After we get us a little bit of sear, they should be pretty solid. All right, we outside. These babies had a little time to sit up. Look how glazed they looked. Beautiful spring afternoon out here in AZ. Sun's on his way down. Things are in full bloom. Little babies out here with chalk. Gotta love it. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull these big fat mama jamas up out of here. See my flies coming. At least that let me know. Nowadays, I'm happy to see flies. I used to hate it when I first started filming, but I feel like nowadays in this land of fake food, at least I know they want what I got, and that's a good start. I am going to sear these babies off right in the middle, get a bit of color on there, and then I'm going to sit them off on a side as we cook indirect. So what I want to do is I'm going to sear it just like you see it there, flip them upside down, sear them, and then we're going to cook them laying open. So let's move to the middle. All right, over here to the old Weber, it's up to 400. We got harder charcoal over here in the middle. Let's go. Make sure I got a little bit of, yeah. All right, got us a little bit of covering on our grills. Now let's bring those chops over. There is 3 of them dead center. I'm gonna close it up, give it about a minute, and then I'll flip them upside down. Right. Good looking char. You can see a little bit of blood coming out the back of these bones. We like all that. You see them in here barehanded having fun. Alright, I'm gonna let them hang again. Hey team, I'm gonna give you a sneak peek of what you're gonna see a little bit later on, but I wanted to jump in here and tell you I appreciate you watching today's video. Go in that bottom right corner, make sure you subscribe and check out any videos you've missed. And other than that, we're gonna get right back into this work. Okay, I went in here once just to kind of give them a rotation and took that one from over there and put this one over to that side, pretty much the hotter side of the coals. I am gonna go ahead and let their face get a little bit real quick. We'll turn them on their side. Smells good. And let's get in here for another flip. Color's starting to look nice. Starting to see a little bit more blood coming through. Woo! Oh yeah. Okay, this might be about my last flip. Now we're just gonna switch them on over here to the side. Yeah. Woo! And we're gonna let them get a little love indirect now. And I got that one big one. I'm gonna scrape that off, and we're gonna get it on. Slide you over right there. Put you up there. And the last one over here with all of this juice. It sat in here a while. Get you right there on the hot side. I'm gonna let it get all the way around, and it's gonna take that spot probably up there to the right. And we're gonna let everybody finish out indirect. We'll take temperatures when I finish him up. Okay, we got a couple sides down. Fire's cooling off a little bit, which is not a bad thing. That means these big old chops will get the slow smoke all the way home. But for my sear, that means I'm not going to get a whole lot of char, or I have to sit it there a little bit longer to get there. But I'm just trying to give it a taste of the charcoal. It's going to get plenty of time to go ahead and get finished out. Alright, this should be about it. We have hit every side with a little bit of color. Hi. Hello. Yeah, it's got a little bit better on that one. Starting to get a little of that char. I am going to, as promised, slide that one over. A little hot. Yeah. Like that. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, throw a couple pieces of this lump charcoal over here from Harder, add it onto my briquettes, and I'm just going to let them finish up. Slow and easy. We'll take a temperature reading. I want to get them to at least about 150-ish in the middle. Like I said, somewhere between 145 and 165 will be your done temp. 165 being a little bit more well done, much like a steak. So I'm going to add a little bit in here just for a little bit of smoke, but I don't want to really get up the temperature too much. I want to let these things finish up nice and easy. All right, I got the lump charcoal inside. Let me just get an idea, where am I at temperature wise? Perfect, about 100 degrees. 108 is what I got on that one. This one's actually saying a little higher, closer to 140, but judging on how soft it feels, it quite isn't ready. Same with this one over here. I'm gonna let these babies go get another 20. And that big one that we put on last is the last one that'll be getting done. I'll let these all hang out, let them get some smoke. We'll bring it back. Once I get them up to around 140, 150-ish, I'll add a little bit of sauce to them. Might leave one unsauced just to have it regular, but we'll probably sauce a few of these, and we'll let them come up slow and easy. 20 minutes later, had this thing dialed down, so we only at about 300 degrees. All I really want to do is flip it over just so we can get some good even cooking. Keep letting everything get some smoke. We're pretty much, with the exception of this big homie in the back, probably getting close to being done. He'll probably be one that I leave without sauce. Being that it'll be the last one and I only got so much sauce left, but one of these ones, like I think this one here is smaller, it's probably closer to done. And also I think this one maybe back here is kind of in the hot spots of my fire and a little smaller, so it might be closer to the 150-ish mark already. So I'll probably go ahead and sauce these two up right off the bat, and then maybe at least this one, maybe even this one here, we'll leave those dry. Alright, it has been quite a while. I have not been keeping time, but I know I should be about good to at least get me some color on a few of these. 154, 155, that's perfect for that one. A little thicker chop up there. 150, perfect. Big boy, he should be the furthest behind. About 140, perfect. I want to get you over there. And then this one here has been chilling too, and it's sitting at about 159. All right, so I'm ready to get some sauce on these babies. I got a little bit of my Joe's Kansas City rub from one of my boys from Kansas City. I'm gonna add that to my bowl right here. A little bit of butter in there, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna let that kind of come up to temp, pour my sauce in there, put it off to the side. One of my little secrets, the way I can get a nice warm sauce and it can sit right on the grill here as I'm going ahead and beginning with the portion of getting it all basted. So let me open this thing up, pour that out. And like I said, I'll just slide that over here. And I can mix it up and easily, let's go ahead and paint. We're gonna paint 2 and leave 2. Okay. Let's go ahead and get a little wetness on here. This sauce had a little butter in it. It was the last bit of my sauce, so like always, I'll add a little water just to get the rest of it out the bottle. So it's probably a little thinner than it normally is, which is just fine because I plan on being able to do multiple different layers. This is just be the first one. We'll just kind of get all over it. Pardon my reach. All over. Little Kansas City Joe's barbecue sauce. Give it a flip. Ooh, it smells good. Boom. And then I'm gonna pull this up off of here, and I'll come back in about another 10 minutes and we'll do it again. Okay, another nearly 15 minutes later. You see I'm dialed in at 300, smooth and easy. And I can see some of my sauce starting to set up a little bit, along with some beautiful color back there, and definitely right here. That one looked like he ready to go. That's how I gotta make him look. What I'm gonna do is, and this sauce isn't completely, like you can see right here, that it's still a little soft, but I'm gonna be flipping it over, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit it one time on both sides, flip it, hit the other side, and this might be about the last rotation of sauce that we'll get, and then from there we'll just let it tack up real nice with this last 15 minutes to kind of finish it up. But let's get it wet. I'll bring you back for the saucing, light saucing. Just getting a little wetness on here. There we go. Pardon my reach and view. All that good stuff. I'm never the best with my left hand, but through the years, I have gotten better with being able to kind of show you with one and show you with another. One day I'll be big time, and then I'll have somebody out here doing all the recording for me, and we'll have nothing but pretty videos, but we're going to always keep it backyard style over here. I don't want to necessarily get to the point I'm in no giant kitchen production all over. I'm pretty low-key country cat. We like to keep it easy. Keep it easy, keep it greasy, you know what I'm saying? So all we doing is just getting a little more wetness on this bone. I'm gonna let it get out here another 15 minutes so it can tack up real nice. Get a good char over there on that bottom part. That's what I want up here. Where I'm putting that on, give me some of that down there. If I have to, I'll drop it back over there real quick and let it get 10 seconds. Yeah, give me my right hand. There we go. Always get your bones, ladies and gentlemen. Public service announcement. Always take care of them bones. We gonna suck on them bones before it's said and done, so don't leave them hanging now. Look at that. I tell you what, I want to taste him the most. I like it a lot of times, no sauce, but sauce too. We gonna get it right. Big homie. Okay? Another 15. Alright, it's been a minute, at least 15 minutes. These babies been hanging out, and they are definitely done. I see that baby look plumped up. It got a nice little bit of color to it. We are all ready to rock. I'm at good temps, good color, beautiful redness. As you can see, it smells great out here. Needless to say, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna toss some of these wet daddies right here on the fire for a couple seconds. And I'm just gonna let it go ahead and just have a minute to just, and we're gonna bring them in the house. Meanwhile, this is the time that I can tell you, if you've never done it before, take the time to make sure you subscribe to today's video. I appreciate you checking everything out. Go in there and get into those other playlists and see some of the other videos I got for my Weber, the Lone Star, which is more than time enough to pull that baby back out. It's sitting over there under wraps. My pellet grill, my Blackstone, the Ninja, the infrared grill. Needless to say, it's been enough time off. And it's about time to get to business. Just a little bit more. You know, we got sauce on there. Sugar burns fast, so we're not going to leave it over this heat long. I just want to kind of wake it up, give it a little bit of color on these plain portions of this chop. We should be good to go. You can just start to smell some of this good old meat starting to char and burn. Love it. You know, just a little bit of wetness for you to enjoy as you rest. Ain't too bad. I know I probably shouldn't have went bare hand, but they actually ain't too bad. There you go. Just a little something with the last little bit that I got. Make sure they're nice and wet. Pretty. And if I ain't never told you nothing, don't forget them bones, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget them bones. Let's pull them up off. You come with me, we grab these last couple up off of here. I'll tell you, these mugs is right. They is righteous. Over there. I need like a plating specialist to come in here. I usually figure something out along the way. There's somebody to tell me, give me the best way to lay it all this meat. Me, I'm straightforward. What you see, what you got. Come on now. 2 at the bottom's got the sauce on it. These up here is just saucy. 2 bone chops. I'm gonna go throw these in the microwave. It's a little dark out here now, so I ain't gotta worry so much about these flies, but I want them to relax in their own heat, come down naturally. They should be beautiful. All right, my girl's asleep. It's just you and me. Actually, my little one's still up, but she on her way. But don't nobody want none of this but daddy. We got sauced up top. You can tell by the more char. And then these is regular down here. Who should we try first? I thought I was going big, but truthfully I should leave the giant for a later time. I'm so tempted to go right here. He's so pretty. And I feel like I want non-seasoned versus seasoned, but I'm gonna go with the littlest one. Give me this baby 2-bone right here. It's nice and messy, sticky, moist, but not wet as far as the sauce, which personally is the way that I like the game. We're going right in here caveman style. Let's see what's up. Man, that's so tender. Look at that bite through. Juicy. Not too salty. A little sweetness from that sauce. Man, that is a beautiful. Let me get another one. So tender. Hey, that rack of pork right there, $13. That is good eating. And with no question, you can guarantee this Easter, I'll be back at Costco looking for another one of them racks of pork. For $13, you cannot beat the price, and it's something about cutting your own individual fresh chops, 2-bone especially, nice thick 2+ inches. Them babies were succulent and soft and tender. Couldn't beat it all the way around, and I loved it with my Kansas City rub. Shouts out to Heart of Charcoal for providing the fuel for this cook, my boys over there at Black Smoke Barbecue, and you out there in TV land, all my family. I appreciate y'all, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.